It's Wednesday. It's BRAP time. It's 9 p.m. We are live. We got a great show in store for our amazing listeners. Those in the live chat, those that will be listening later on. Appreciate you all as always. Hit that like button if you're new. Subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. We have a stacked panel tonight. We have two returning guests. Two returning guests. We got my man, Undead 3XVI, Nick Downey. Nick, welcome back to BRAP. I remembered, man. Undead 3XVI. I'm so proud of myself, by the way.
I'm glad you remembered. And Eric didn't have to hold up a cue card either. So
no, he did not.
All you need to do is remember Eric's outro, and you are smooth for the rest of the night.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
Damn, that's still coming back.
I know. That was like months ago.
I remember when he tweeted out, I was like, damn, he might be looking for it. Let me see if I can sign him.
Yeah, man. Eric was doing the rounds that week. Everybody was courting him. Yeah, he was like a high value high school pick. You know, like where everyone's all like, come to our campus. Look at all the women we got here.
It was like LeBron when he first.
It's like that free agency period.
Yeah,
that royal treatment.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're like Jesus Shuttlesworth, man. Yeah, but no, Nick, it's a pleasure to have you back on BRAP. By the way, great episode or live podcast of the Gaming Perspective. If you guys and gals haven't checked out Gaming Perspective, they go live every Tuesday night at I think it's 9 p.m. right? Did I get the time right? 9 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. I'm sorry.
9 p.m. gets a little late for me.
Okay, got you. 8 p.m. then. Yeah, so definitely check out Gaming Perspective. But no, Nick, seriously, man, great to have you back, man. Got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get your expertise on a certain subject matter this evening as well. So, and then we also have returning guest introducing. Got to give him that voice. We got my man from the Iron Lords podcast, Lord Cognito. Cog, welcome back to BRAP.
Back in the basement radio flow with my brethren. Fun topics, fun cast. Man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Yeah. It's always good to be back with the homies talking gaming. You know what I mean? So, salute, man. Salute. Glad to be back, bro.
No, it's a pleasure having you back, man. I got to say, Cog, I certainly enjoy our conversations off air. I can't do the laugh of the man who, that certain wrestler, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. We know what's going on, but yeah, we have some interesting talks behind the scenes. Yeah. Exactly. That's the laugh. Yeah, we have some great talks behind the scenes. Always a pleasure to pick each other's brain on certain topics and stuff that's going on in the industry.
Absolutely. And Cog, I can't promise you now. I can't promise that there won't be any slight Destiny slander this evening. There might be.
Listen, we got one of your panel members loose, but thankfully Forte is here to right the wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Forte has never even played the game because he's a fraud. He's never played.
My bro is here because slow-mo can get loose, and I'm just glad there's some balance in the force today.
Yes, and on that note, I want to introduce Slow-mo, who's going by the handle of Splitgate is better than Destiny right now.
Yeah,
Slow-mo, what is going on, man?
I'm here, just speaking the truth out there, just trying to give the good word, just trying to spread the good news that Splitgate has come, and it has giving us some good gunplay, some great first person shooting. It's a free game coming out. It's better than Destiny. That's all you need.
Wow.
To know.
Okay.
That's all that needs to be. Look,
let's get to the intros.
Elder Cat in the chat saying Splitgate is the truth. I was just playing with Elder.
Good job to Cat.
Not to like what is it? Like it's about 2 hours ago. We was playing this game. He is a believer now. I'm telling you, like, be a believer. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys listening.
All right.
Splitgate.
All right. Well, I do want to also, on that note, introduce Gaming Forte, who's going under the handle of Splitgate can't hold D2's crouch. Did you mean crouch or crutch?
He said crouch.
He said Forte. You mean crutch, man. Come on. Oh, my God.
Not like this. Not like this.
Not like that.
I love it. That is too good.
That's where you got that angry tweet and you so fast with it. They got my man's out his feelings.
Oh my god.
No, he read it. He read it right the first time. We're trying to keep it PG up in here.
Oh,
He read it right the first time.
You stop your line. You did not put it like that.
No, it was exactly like
not
that,
crouch. It's crouch, but you spelled it crouch. That's
no, I know it was meant to be spelled that way so we can keep it PG.
That's not
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah,
Nah.
Oh, you just mad because I'm on that third level? That's okay.
No. We're not.
No. Wait, hold on. Let me.
Third grade spelling level. Is that what level you talking about?
Let's talk. Let's. You know, we're not gonna turn this. We're not gonna turn this.
BPS is live, y'all.
No, we ain't gonna.
Yes, this is a preview tomorrow's show, by the way.
BPS is live.
So we ain't gonna take over this show, Slummo. We gonna let these people have a great BAP show. But I do want to bring to your attention, Splitgate is on what platform right now? Where is it available at?
PC.
It came out when?
2019.
2019. I am looking at the Steam top play game chart.
He's got the numbers.
Wow.
The numbers,
I'm looking at
Cox.
the Steam. Wait, hold on. I was expecting, this game that was so great.
What's that got to do with quality?
Wait. That was so. Well, no.
What's that got to do with quality?
Control
was a great game that nobody bought. You
don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it.
Well, they had to put it on every streaming service and subscription service available because nobody bought the game. It's sad.
Okay, go to the numbers. I want to hear this.
Wait, hold on, Cognito. Let me ask you a question, Cognito. Where was Destiny?
We don't need to see no numbers. Numbers is irrelevant.
Cognito?
Oh, he's back out.
Good.
Yo, where was Destiny? Wasn't up until 2 years, like when Splitgate first released, Cognito, wasn't Destiny a paid game at that point?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
You had to pay for Destiny at that point. So the fact that Destiny right now on Steam is number 8.
It's a lot of shills.
With 600,
it's a lot of shills.
69,000 people logged into Destiny with 54,000 playing it right now, and that's just
4,000 shills playing it right now.
Wait, hold on. That's just one platform. One platform.
That's just one platform of suckers.
Wait. Where Splitgate? I look down this list, Slobo, and I don't even see Splitgate in the top 100. Like, where's Splitgate?
That's because it's too high quality. People don't want to get bodied. It hurts their pride, their ego, so they don't play. That's what it is.
DPS go get tomorrow, bro.
I didn't know it existed 2 weeks ago, but regardless of that, look, hold on. I'm gonna stop capping for a moment. For real,
please stop capping.
This game is it's made by a very, very small studio. This one,
check out Slummo's video. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And the studio, they're called 1047 Games. It's their first game. They're self-published, self-everything. A couple of their developers, probably part of the reason why the game plays so well, came from 343 Industries. Nice. So, like map design, like
where did those 343 people come from?
Oh Lord,
I don't know. Anyway. But
just saying
they didn't come from Bungie. But I'm just saying they didn't come from Bungie. But the map design is very much very similar to a lot of maps that you see from Halo, and the gunplay is just top notch gunplay.
And arena shooter, right?
Yes, yeah. The portals are awesome. The portals make it extremely unique in the first person space. You're not going to play anything like this because of the portals.
Okay.
Fire.
Yeah,
So it's pretty awesome. I mean, I know I'm messing around with the name and everything. Like I just wanted to mess because I think Cognito's here. I have to mess with him every time.
We know you are a habitual button pusher.
Yes, he is.
It is
him and Forte.
That might be my next nickname. Habitual button presser. But no, like it's not a looter, so it can't really compare to Destiny. It's not a looter, but as far as like just
not even a gunplay.
Person, the gunplay. You want to compare gunplay of games? It's literally you haven't played it, Forte, so you don't.
I have played it. I played it before you. I played it 2 years ago.
You liar!
Go check my Steam.
All right. Let's. Hey, look. Time out. Ding. Time out.
Enrique, hold on. This is all last thing I'm gonna say. Play it today because they have revamped the game a lot. And look,
it still isn't better. Listen. Okay, let's be
time out.
Wait, hold on. Before you
time out.
This ain't the Iron Lords podcast. Time doesn't work here.
No, I will. We will mute you then, Forte.
Okay, listen. I said we're not going to take over the show.
Forte is disrespectful. I mean, anybody say anything against Destiny, and he just get mad. It's sad.
Yes. All right. We had to mute Forte. Forte, we need to get to the introductions, sir. Forte, we need to get to the introductions now.
So are you going to mute me for real and not mute Slow-Mo?
No, he's not talking.
I just wanted to say that I was agreeing with Slow-Mo until he came out and said the slander that he said.
Let me use that.
DPS is live tomorrow, y'all. Y'all gotta watch it.
Yes, this is a great preview for DPS.
Here's the crazy thing is that I invited Forte multiple times in the past week to play this game with me, and he just has refused. So I don't even know what he's talking about. He doesn't know.
All right, Forte, great to see you, sir. Sounds like you're doing well.
Moving on. I got my COVID shot today.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Now we got my man B Money 101 B. What's going on, B? You ready for Scarlet Nexus, sir? Man.
Yeah, of course. These boys going at it early, so you know what I mean. Let's get to it.
Exactly. They're feisty. Last but not least, we got E Jackson. What's up, E?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. How's everybody doing tonight?
Chilling, bro.
Very good, sir.
E Jackson, B Money in the building.
E, all I gotta say is problems run faster, sir.
Black people fast. Problem run faster.
That movie's so underrated, by the way. Anyhow, yeah. So look, we got a great show. Hey, by the way, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Please hit that like button, retweet the link, which has just dropped here in the live chat. So I do want to talk about something interesting that happened. That's I guess it's kind of Kojima related, and glad to have Undead 3XVI or Nick here because Nick, my understanding is you're like the subject matter expert on this regarding Blue Box and are they making Silent Hill? Now, my knowledge is a little limited with regards to this game or this developer and them making Silent Hill. I know they teased something on Twitter where they're like, we're making a game. I think first letter S, last letter whatever. Basically, everyone's like, oh, that's Silent Hill. And then people were like, oh, maybe Kojima's involved in this. Maybe he's not. And then we have, I forget the gentleman's name now because it's late. I'm drawing. My mind's just like shot right now at 9:20 p.m. because I have like 6 kids, like 9 chickens, 4 rabbits, and I can go on and on. But
his name, you talking about Hassan?
Hassan, thank you. Yes, anyone butcher. Yeah. So Hassan had
Hassan Chop.
Yeah, he put out he tweeted out a video of himself talking about he's not working on Silent Hill. Long story short, so Nick, how do we get to the point with Blue Box where all these conspiracy theories? Because I saw a lot. Like I was watching Jeff Grubb's podcast last week. There's people in the live chat just dropping mad conspiracy theories. It was crazy. Some of the stuff I was reading in the live chats. But how do we get to this point, man? Like that Blue Box is making Silent Hill. That people thought that Kojima's associated with them. How do we get here, man?
Well, it's kind of weird how this all kind of started because, like, basically Abandoned, which was the project that Blue Box is supposedly working on, was revealed via a PlayStation blog post, and it had like this small little bland trailer, and then for some reason everyone thought, oh, it's got to be a Kojima game. I honestly do not know where the basis of it being Silent Hill in a Kojima game originally came from, but the studio debunked it the next day, stating that no, they weren't making Silent Hill. No, this wasn't a Kojima game. And then they started leaning into it a bit. You started seeing the tweets, we're making a game that starts with S and ends with L. And, they started leaning into it a little bit. And here's where it kind of gets a little gray for me is where, are they leaning into it because, they're working on something that could be tied to, or are they leaning into it because, it's free publicity is free publicity? The thing is there's a lot of inconsistencies about Blue Box. And, their history is a little weird. They've made a handful of games, mainly failed Kickstarters and really bad early access games. Their last game project was a game called The Haunting that was in early access on Steam. They handed the development of that game off when they revealed Abandon to a company called Create Q, which is a Dutch company. However, Create Q is not a video games development company. They do innovative retail, exhibition, display electronics, and machine automation and remote managing solutions. They aren't a video game development studio. But they are listed as the developer of Blue Box's former game, The Haunting, on Steam. Now, interestingly enough, The Haunting, Bloodwater Curse, which was this early access game from Blue Box Games, has now appeared on the PlayStation 5 store under early access. Now, what's interesting most about that is, PlayStation doesn't really have an early access program, so to speak. So this would be this would be the first, so to speak, to my knowledge anyway, and anyone can correct me, of course, if I'm wrong on that. So basically, this game appeared as a demo that's going to be or early access game that's going to be available. Now, if you go and look at Blue Box Game Studios' website, it's currently down for renovations. They say that they're retooling their website to coincide with the big reveal that's supposed to be happening later this week. But if you Google Blue Box Game Studios mobile game, Blue Box Game Studios pulls up, and then there's a blog post that's left over from May 5th saying that The Haunting early access on PS5 will be available in early access for PC, PS5 on June 25th, 2021, and then on July 27th for PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Now, what's interesting about this is that, Hassan himself has said that they had to delay the reveal that was supposed to be this Tuesday of their game to push it to the Friday, which falls on the 25th. So, The Haunting is supposedly going to be launching into early access on PS5 on the June 25th. And this coincides with the reveal of Abandoned. So there's a little bit of anomalies, if I could even talk English.
You go,
today. So that kind of throws things into a loop on, what is this and everything else. The big thing is like, I know people really want Silent Hill to come back, and it is. Silent Hill is coming back, but people are looking in all the wrong spots for where Silent Hill is going to be coming from. This is not where Silent Hill is going to be coming from. And the idea that Blue Box is a fake Kojima studio is debunkable by the fact under Dutch law, you can't run a proxy company. You can't Moby Dick Games this. You aren't allowed to run proxy companies by EU standards. So there's no possible way that this is a proxy Kojima studio. This is not Kojima's Amsterdam studio under a different name. This is not, all these other things that people have kind of tried to draw lines to. There's some very vague evidence where it's like coincidences, like, the translation of his last name to Hideo. His last name, and things along those lines. Those are eyebrow raising to me, but there's too many solid facts of this that just don't make sense for it to be Kojima. Because I want to give Kojima credit on this one. And Kojima is convoluted and loves creating a show, but this is a circus. This isn't good. This isn't well managed. This isn't well thought out. These are people that are constantly tripping over their feet, trying to roll something out. I don't know what it is. It could be an amazing horror game, and I think people are losing a lost sight over that because they're like, "Oh, if it's not Kojima, it sucks." I think people need to roll back and just wait to see what they're doing, because this is an elaborate marketing ploy. It's going to be one of the most elaborate ones we've ever seen in the gaming space. But they're doing it for a reason. It's not Silent Hill. I don't think it's Kojima. I'm about 98% sure on both of those. But I still don't think people should write it off that this is going to be some no-name thing that we shouldn't be excited about in the long term. But other than that, I can't tell you what it is. I couldn't even pretend to understand what it is. I just can tell you what it's not. And, you know, and I want to preface this because with a lot of people took issue with, you know, when I released the report, that's the stuff that I found. And you can take my information however you want to take the information I've presented. You know, it's just the facts they're saying there, and how you want to interpret them is absolutely up to the listener. But that's what I've personally dug up with the help of Ivan.
Yeah, no, that's great insight there, Nick, and you know, certainly it makes it more relatable, or it makes me understand the situation better. And to your point about like if this is some kind of marketing ploy, if it is, in some way, I think it's genius because nobody was really talking about the studio, and up until, you know, the last couple of weeks or so, where everyone's speculating, is this a Kojima thing now? And I think to kind of fuel the intrigue to it, like that, like their website, like I just visit their website, they're like, we're working on it or something. I forget what it said, but to your point, like it was down, but they let you know that they got something cooking, right? It's like they're teasing you with something. But what's interesting though is this, I think what you said earlier, Nick, is about this game going on early access for PlayStation 5. Did I understand that correctly, right? But to my knowledge, there isn't like that kind of a program, I don't think, on, I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, there isn't anything like that per se, right, on PlayStation, right?
Nope, there's nothing like this. And what people are, some things that I've kind of kicked back and forth with a few people that I talk with, is whether or not this is going to be PlayStation rolling out, hey, we're trying to be more indie or independent developer friendly. Here is an example of us pushing forward an indie developer going into early access. Could this be PlayStation expanding into the early access market by hand picking certain projects to bring to the console? And that, to me, would be a very PlayStation move, considering, you know, these smaller deals they've been making with more prominent creators. And, you know, the kind of criticism around the PlayStation 5 for the most part has been that it's been very AAA focused, and they've, you know, PlayStation's quote unquote, I don't necessarily agree with it, lost touch with the smaller developers. And it would be a very smaller developer friendly move if they start to open the gates a little bit in terms of what they allow on the platform. But once again, that's just my own speculation in regards to that. Yeah,
no, and I think that kind of makes more sense if they were to do that, because you know, I think, and I could, again, just off the top of my head, I mean, I could be wrong here, but I seem to remember that that some indie developers were actually saying that Sony wasn't as, I guess, not indie friendly per se, but as focused or as involved in partnering with smaller studios for indie games, and kind of Microsoft kind of stepped in to kind of fill that space, as Sony towards the latter part of the last generation kind of focused more on AAA games. And that would, even if they did do this, if they did open up the gates to like a where they could sign indie developers and have them, you know, put their games in early access, that certainly would, I think, kind of maybe change some of the concern. If you guys remember a couple months ago that Sony was kind of, you know, with what was going on in Japan studio, you know, and you know, that they weren't going to, you know, that the old Sony was gone. I think you guys talked a lot about this too on your show, Cog, about the old Sony. I know you and I've talked about it behind the scenes, right. The old Sony being gone. Maybe that kind of, if this is true, if what Nick's saying happens, this kind of maybe, you know, would probably be looked favorably upon, I think, the gaming community, given some of the concerns with Jim Ryan. So
no, absolutely. I mean, just for Frank, I didn't say that they were gone, but there was concern, right? When you heard the was it the Jason Schreier report at first, and the whole thing with Days Gone and not getting a potential sequel, and the focus on blockbusters, right? So for me and you, from what we appreciate for Sony was definitely that diversity in the lineup, and as far as the the embracing of indies and stuff like that. So I guess my only concern was just like I just hope that they don't lose the identity, because that's part of what made the PlayStation 4 generation really great, in my opinion. So when you hear what Nick's talking about now, and obviously his thing with Blue Box, whatever it eventually becomes, you like that whatever happens, that it's at least skewing in that direction, so they're not completely abandoning these type of projects and working with developers like this. So that part is actually promising to hear.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. So it's gonna be interesting to see the next couple of days, because like Nick, you're saying the 25th is when there's supposed to be some announcement, right? It's gonna be interesting to see if we hear anything coming out of Blue Box. So, but definitely a fascinating situation with the developer. I mean, it was, for me, it was a lot to keep up with. I kind of
feel like this is really going to backfire on them. Just because if you think about how the gaming community is, and once they get a thought in their head, it's in there. You can try to convince them, hey, look, we have nothing to do with Kojima. We don't. No, you do. And it's just when it comes out that it really doesn't have anything to do with Kojima. It's just the backlash is going to be what it is. Now, that said, I looked at that tweet and I'm just like, how do you send that tweet and not think people are going to think this is Silent Hill? I mean, you said it begins with an S, ends with an L. You already know we make a horror game. Wait a minute. Silent Hill? I mean, literally, you could be barely a gamer and just be like, oh, he must be talking about Silent Hill. Yeah, it's probably Silent Hill. And it's just like, what are you doing? Don't send that tweet. And it's just, here we are.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, because it's like, as a smaller studio, let's be honest, right? This is probably the most attention
ever had.
They're gonna ever have. So it's part internally there must be discussion. Well, let it rock, because this is really tremendous exposure. But to your point, Slow-Mo, you make a fantastic point, which is most likely this is not it. Then gamers remember, and gamers end up now looking at things in a negative light if it doesn't become what their ultimate, thought process of what this thing was going to be in their minds. And that's the concern, right? That they don't get the lashing, if people, once it's officially confirmed that it's not, then sometimes gamers might look at it not favorably.
It doesn't even need to be confirmed. I simply wrote something pointing out inconsistencies in it.
Yes.
And I had to disable my DMs for 48
hours. Yeah, they were mad at, bro.
Wait, they were mad at you?
Bro. Oh yeah, no, I had threats against me and everything else for covering that, and that I was making things up, and that I'm doubting how great Kojima is and all this nonsense.
What?
Yeah, they was on my boy, man.
That's crazy.
Was in full force, man.
So what I say to this is, if this isn't what it turns out to be, will there be backlash? I like to think that most people, and I'll put the quotations around most, will just kind of go, oh, that sucks, and kind of move on with it. But the thing is there's certain creators and writers in the spaces that I shall leave nameless, who have drummed their audiences into such a hype that this has to be what this is. And what's the most dangerous part is when people have large audiences, and something that gets neglected constantly in the space is that, yes, your main audience is most likely reasonable people that do reasonable things and have reasonable reactions, but every audience has a fringe outside that is insane. And I think a lot of these audiences are in the insane group is growing larger. And I kind of fear what the backlash could look like if this could happen. Like, one of the responses to Hassan's one of the Blue Box's tweets was like, hey, if this isn't a Kojima project in Silent Hill and you guys get major backlash, you guys deserve it. You deserve whatever you get. And that's kind of the mentality a lot of people have. And it's a scary place to be, because if this is just an indie developer that bit off more than they could chew, I legitimately feel bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the other thing I was gonna say too is, like let's say they show us the trailer, whatever it is they're working on. Are people going to be more critical of the game trailer or that game?
Right.
If it's not like a Silent Hill, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, look at this! This shit's trash." I mean, how people are, right? I mean, is that a possible outcome out of this?
That's not a possible. That's a definite outcome. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point, B. I mean, I think people are going to be like, I mean, we've seen it before, so this thing could be great for them or it could be terrible. But I gotta say, Nick, I think what's almost fascinating, even more fascinating to me, is that you had people DMing you and like angry, like that just blows my mind.
This isn't
really
news to me. I broke news that Gearbox actually was paying bonuses when people were saying they weren't. I got slammed for that. I got slammed for this. It's just, if you go against what people want, people are gonna hate you for it. And I've just kind of grown to love the energy that people reciprocate back to me when I write stuff that they don't like. Because at the end of the day, my speculation's no different than anyone else's speculation at this point, because no one really knows. Like when you have people like Jason Schreier going, I don't even really know what's going on. then you know legitimately nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they always say like there's no such thing as bad publicity. It's like, well, you obviously haven't met the gaming community.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that's facts. That's facts. Back to what B was saying. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing plays out. But I do want to get to another topic here. We have some Xbox partnership news. You guys see Xbox partnering with I think it's I can't remember. Is it not Panasonic? It's shit, I have to pull it up again. But basically, they're making like Xbox, quote unquote, official Xbox Series XS monitors, TV displays. Have you guys seen this?
Oh yeah.
It's not just Panasonic. Well, I don't think Panasonic is any of them, but I was looking at it earlier today, I think, and there was a number of different. I think it was a couple of monitors, a couple of TVs.
Yeah,
I'm about to go find it now. I think one of them was
designed for Xbox program.
Acer.
Asus, yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Philips. I'm sorry, I said Panasonic. It was Philips.
Yes,
Philips had. Yeah.
Stop.
He says the same thing. That's slander, sir.
Never get like Kawasaki.
They partner with Yamaha. They got the Yamaha monitors now.
Savage.
Philips Momentum is what it's called. It's a 55-inch monitor. It actually has it's a display and soundbar in one. That seems kind of cool, I guess. And that's that Philips one's going to support 4K resolution, 120 hertz, powered by AMD FreeSync, and obviously have things like HDR. And it's going to retail at $1,600. Now, I got to be honest with you, at $1,600,
premium gaming. Look, I'm waiting for some console only gamer to act like, well, so what? It's
no slow PC games expensive.
All gaming.
You wait for that tweet day one, baby. Day one.
I'm waiting.
You're not implying that console gamers have a double standard when it comes to their purchases versus PC.
I'm not implying it. I am stating it outright. There is a double standard. This is what always happens. They always go, man, PC gaming is too expensive.
I hear it all the time, Cock.
$3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000. I'm like, where y'all getting these prices from?
Are you implying that when you see those CX OLEDs up on Twitter, that they are in the range to not be talking to PC gamers?
Yeah. I don't want to hear about price. Well, if you got a CX, sitting in your dining room, in your gaming space. I don't want to hear about price.
But slow-mo, I watch TV shows on it too and movies. I can't do that on my PC.
I can do all that on my monitors for my PC. Big freaking deal.
Race being messy to do.
And I got Excel. I can make spreadsheets.
Slow-mo talking about those dudes. Like, yo, I'm about to get another Series X. I'm getting one for the bedroom and one for my study.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like
I qualify for this.
it's like
I need a Series S for the times I'm on the toilet. You know, it's just like, why do you need a Series S for the bathroom, man?
It's not just
Are
a
you
series.
really into that long?
It's not just that.
Charged.
It's not just that. It's like
I don't think you're one of those dudes that come down on the PC side saying it's too expensive or whatever, right?
No.
Slow-mo's talking about a very specific dude who rallies against.
Oh, to say okay, why would you do PC gaming?
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they got I just sold my Switch and bought another one. I just sold my PS5 and bought another one. I just sold my, I got a whole stack of boxes behind them. That pretty much equate to
Right, and
I didn't know that was going on.
And their full price of gaming, like they only look at the price of the console versus the price of a custom built PC or a pre-built PC, but they don't want to consider all the other costs that they're doing beyond that. It's just like that's not, you can't game on an Xbox Series X or PS5 with no actual TV. Hold on, I got my kids getting crazy over here. Hold on.
You good.
no, yeah, but the other thing too is I always see $70 games are too expensive, but then like someone says, oh, I got to buy 3 more Xbox Series X's for my household and an Xbox One S for the bedroom.
Hey, but Fawn speaking truth though. Fawn said it's not the cost; it's just PC gaming is trash.
Oh no!
Y'all doing it today? I can see.
No, PC gaming is not trash.
Gaming perspective got messy now.
Hey, look! I get it, Fawn. The elderly can't mess with PCs. I get that,
You're gonna be an agent on this one.
Yeah, but
messy.
Yeah. So, but no, this Philips TV is like $1,600, and you know what I'm thinking? I thought of you, Cox. I know you have one of these. I thought of at that price, I might as well just go with the OLED, man.
The OLED, man. Yeah,
the C10.
Look,
Yeah, man.
I feel it. At the end of the only thing I like about it is I do like the fact that from a specification standpoint, they're actually labeling it so that you're making sure that you're getting the VRR, the HDMI 2.1, all those next gen features. Because I think there is a lot of confusion for people who want a game on series consoles as far as getting, monitors and displays that actually support the new tech, especially VRR. It's actually pretty cool, pretty good game changer. But yeah, I mean, for some, this is going to be it. For others, it's like, wait, this is too expensive. I'm not going to go in. I just like the fact that there's an actual label to help the casual gamer. Well, this person's paying 60 ain't that casual, but to help a person understand that, look, this is going to have those next gen features. But it's up to you. I'm with you though, in a sense, BRAP. Like, if I'm going to do this, then why would I not kind of get an OLED and just go all the way out and get more of a, get size and stuff like that? But teach his own.
Yeah, and it's some of the monitors here. I mean, you can already get these monitors right now. These types of monitors with AMD FreeSync or G-Sync 4K, and you can do this on PC. PC's been doing this for a little while now. I guess to your point though, it's just, I guess it seems to be just more marketing than anything else. Because that designed for Xbox, so you don't have to be asking questions. Does it do 4K? It's going to be late design. I mean, this isn't new. Microsoft's done this. You go back to the days of the OG Xbox. They used to sell monster cables, and they did it for the PlayStation.
Oh,
you remember those green mesh?
Yes,
I had those.
Posits and HDMI.
Yeah, and they had like that green meshing on the outside. They were really nice. Yeah, and they said specific for for the Xbox. So I was like, oh yeah, this is at the end of the day. I mean, I could have used anything else, but. Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. But I think it's kind of cool. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how well these things sell. But I think the one thing that just stood out to me was the Philips one, because it made me think of, at a 55-inch screen. I know it's got a center. It's got a built-in soundbar. But I don't know, man. I think the C10. I mean, everything I hear about that TV.
Yeah, for that price, I definitely go with C10. Like a C10 or the new one, kind of thing. But I don't. I just think it seems like marketing and partnerships that Xbox have made with certain manufacturers that they want to put this and promote this label. To be honest, if that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah. Anyone on the panel interested in these monitors? Anyone? Any buyers?
I can't believe that people actually play video games on TV still when monitors exist.
Yeah, I hear that.
Nick, tell us why you feel this way.
Oh, here he go.
I know. I'm just here. I'm curious. Nick, tell us why.
That's a fair question.
You change your name back to Habitual Launch Stepper.
Well, I myself personally, because of space and everything else, and I just take my hand-me-down TVs. I have not bought a TV in my life. I only buy monitors. Because my space has always been a desk setup, because I cannot for the life of me, since I was a kid, been able to sit down on a couch, put my feet up and play games. I've got to be sitting in a chair at a desk and to play my games, period, end of story. Everything's all compact, one station, away I go. That's the only way I can game. That's the only way I can relax and game.
Interesting.
Yeah,
very good points there. Yeah.
I hear that.
There's
something to be said for sitting at the the desk and being on the monitor. I mean, I certainly like it sometimes. Certainly prefer it over playing on my 65-inch TV. I mean, it's
Since when?
What?
Oh,
yeah, stop with the slander, E.
No, you can't say I was an OG beta tester on Xbox, and now I
was
prefer my desk. I like to sit at my desk.
No, that's not what I said. I said at times I prefer my desk. Fraud. I said at times.
Fraud. EJ, are you implying that someone is buttering up to the PC master?
Yeah.
That was not me. I was an Xbox Live beta tester, but I do enjoy playing on PC.
No doubt.
It's for the last 2 weeks.
Y'all messy today. I love it.
You see the slander?
Yeah, they get you on getting there at work today.
I thought this was America. I thought we could do what we want. Play games where we want. Apparently not. All right. Anyhow, PC's still the best place to play games.
But you gonna get that smoke about it though.
Nah. PC's still the best place.
Because in America, we're free to give you smoke as well.
Yeah, this is true. In America, we're free to mute. All right, let's go. So, yeah, there's a conversation going on about OLEDs and burn-in now. It's just funny. Yeah, apparently burn-in isn't necessarily as bad of an issue with OLEDs, but it could still happen, at least from what I read. But it's not as bad as it used to be. Definitely not as bad as the plasmas. Speaking of Panasonic, by the way. So, yeah. All right. So we have some big news related to xCloud, Microsoft, and former Valve EA designer joins Xbox from a closed Stadia first-party studio. God, I wonder how long Stadia is going to last. That's the big question. Yeah. God, do you think Stadia is going to be around in a year?
What's year?
Yeah.
Y'all funny. Y'all funny.
I think no, because I have for real. I don't mean to cut you off, Cobb. It's is Stadia here now?
I mean, they're here.
People are using it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
people are using it.
It'd be I don't get it.
It's cheating.
Yeah, well, true. If you play it on Destiny, it's definitely there's not much cheating over there. But yeah, I mean, it's still functional. The tech is still good. The problem is they've already kind of walked away from their commitment to first party and game development. So shout out to Violet in the chat. You say you're a Fugu. That was
the Fugals. Remember Fugu?
Yeah. Fugu squad. But look, the tech is good. I don't know. I mean, they got money to spend, but the question just seems like they don't seem to have the internal commitment to games. And if that's the case, it's not going to survive. But I don't know if it'll be a year though. I mean, who knows? It depends on how much they want to ride it out. To be honest,
Google peeked over the fence, saw that gaming was making all this money every year, year in, year out, and it was like, oh yeah, we want some of that. And they jumped in the pool, and they was like, nah, we can't really swim, so let's stay on the shallow side, and that's where they're at right now.
Yeah, you called it. I remember when what was the
everybody was mad at me.
Yeah, you got a lot of flack. I remember because it was right around the initial announcement, right, of Google and the thing, and I thought the press conference was decent. And you were like, nope, this ain't gonna work. And I was like, oh no, he going in. Like he's like, nope, because you probably felt it, like the non-commitment to gaming, and you wanted to see way more before you even gave them a chance on that, and you proved to be right. You absolutely proved to be right with them. You just did not commit.
Yeah, I was because I was saying the same thing. I was there would be on that, and I was saying that this is Google. They don't see anything through.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that too. Yeah,
that's just how they start stuff, and they're like, okay, we're bored with it. It's not really. It didn't hit like immediately, and then the things that you actually like that they do, they take it away anyway. I'm like, this is what they do.
My main issue is that in that press conference, they announced at least 5 to 6 features that I thought were actually game-changing features, and none of them were ready for release.
Yeah.
YouTube integration and the streamer stuff.
They've never implemented that, right? As far as I know.
As far as I know, I mean, a lot of that stuff never came to fruition. It was I always concern myself with new tech and companies hitting you with the IOU as soon as they drop the content. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, you have to follow through on these things because that's part of the dream. Now, I can understand if you give people a window, okay, in 3 months, in 6 months, it's like, coming soon. And then as you can see, none of that came to fruition. And then my main thing I thought was a mistake was, they should have kind of followed that Game Pass model. If you're going to pay that subscription, to not have this library a part of it, a bigger library part of it, was who is going to buy just the third-party version of the game just over there if it's not part of that paid service that you're charging people. So it was just not the model. I just think didn't hold up.
Yeah.
And would you guys say like people were already like leery of them, right? But it was pretty much a done deal of rap when they're like, we're pretty much like just shuttering all the first-party effort. It's sort of like, well, who can take you serious? You're not even showing that you're in the game to like try to compete.
Look, Google launched a console that they didn't add a search bar to in the store until 2 months ago.
Bro,
they didn't have a search bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. I remember subscribing to it, and I'm like, why is the screenshots not part of the browser service so I can share? And you're like locked into, you have to go to your phone and I'm like, what is going on? And like you said, like no search. I'm just like basic quality of life thing. It just felt like it came in super hot and they just wanted to get that launch out, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting you guys mentioned that. I mean, there was so many quality of life things they did. It's almost like they just piecemealed it together, thought it was a cool idea. And someone actually, I don't know if it was you, B, but someone actually said once that they thought they kind of put it together and they figured if it didn't work out, they could sell the technology to someone, who was looking to get into like cloud gaming or something like that. Like they, so I don't know, but I was one of those early believers that thought that it might work, but it is what it is.
You was out here foogling.
Yeah, I was foogling. I was. I thought, remember?
Foogle.
Lord 5G, all that. I was there. It's the future. And B Money's like, no, it's not. Just like that. B's like, no, it's not.
The tech was good. I was with you on the tech, but just the support and the software.
Nah, yeah. And then Phil Harrison was there, so that should have been. Yeah. Let me stop. Phil's never gonna come on BRAP anyway. So, want to get a super chit?
Phil constantly failing upward.
Yeah, and
hey, man.
Cashing out,
collecting the bag, man.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one of those old NBA players that like had
a
big name.
Yeah.
They just keep bringing him in for moral support.
What did you say? He's got a bad knee?
He said he got a big name.
I thought he said he got bad knees.
He got a big name. It's like Karl Malone at the end of his career. You know what I mean? Just going around different teams,
Lakers Karl
Malone.
Played like all of like 3 minutes the whole season.
Yeah,
Right. That's where Udonis has him hitting right now, man. I wanted to do but I was rolling the other day. They said UD has not decided whether he's coming back. I'm like, what the what are we doing here, man?
Yeah.
Just get that man a coaching spot at this point.
I know they play UD a couple of minutes this year, but what has he done the past 4 or 5 years, man? He's just been chilling, man.
No, they've been collecting $1 million paychecks, man.
Yeah,
coaching.
Man. Hey, man, that's great.
Hey,
I wish I could do it.
Me too. I'm not mad at him. Yeah. Want to get the super chat real quick, gentlemen, from King Thrash Gaming, the $5 super chat. Thank you for that, King. Says, even though I never get an invite link, I'm gonna still support because I don't. What is that? What? I do it. I don't know. All right. So, King, we'll have to get you back. We'll have to get you on, man.
He's saying, do what you do.
Oh, do what you do. Okay.
Yeah, do what you do.
Okay.
Or do what I do.
Do what I do.
Maybe that's what I is. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So Microsoft, they hired Kib Swift as new senior director of cloud gaming. The Microsoft's actually xCloud. I think I talked to you about this a couple months ago, Cog, when what's it called came out, MLB The Show, and I was playing it on the xCloud. Well, I got my new phone. I got my Samsung Ultra 21. What is it? The Ultra whatever Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to try that. Yeah, I got 5G finally, right? So I had to try xCloud. And I got to say, like, xCloud, I mean, that doesn't work great for all games. Like, I tried playing Outriders, and that was poo-poo. But, like, MLB The Show, man, I was playing that game. I was like, oh, my God, I'm playing this game on my phone. Yeah. And my wife's looking at me like, she's like, that's not going to happen on the regular, is it? I was like, nah, it's research for the show, honey. I told her it's research for the podcast. She was not happy. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, yeah. I'm playing as the Washington Nationals, having a good time. I'm in awe of the technology. But she was not feeling it. She was like, nah, that's just not happening. She's like, you got to find yourself on the couch. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll take my phone downstairs and my xCloud to the couch then. Let me stop saying that out loud when she comes down. Anyhow, I'll say this, like, so this is I think this is a pretty big hire. They hired her to accelerate innovation and collaboration with independent studios to build games for xCloud. She's got some good pedigree. I mean, she worked at more recently at Google, but also worked at Valve, and worked on Portal and was designer for Left 4 Dead. So yeah, I mean, she's got some pedigree, and I got to say, guys, to me, xCloud is doing some really cool things. I think one with this hire, because they'll start focusing on games more specific to the cloud, but also I think this was there was articles. I think June 10th, there were articles out there that Microsoft was getting ready to upgrade their server stacks for xCloud to Xbox. I believe it's in effect now. Yeah, is it in effect now, Cog?
Unofficially, yeah. There are about a good portion of the lineup is already on Series X blades now. And if you checked out Jess Gordon, he's got some tweets out. I think Tom Warren, a couple others will actually test. I think Nier Automata was one. I've even seen Clobro had a tweet out. If you look at the options for a couple of games, you can tell that they were Series X based on the NVMe and the fact that some of the games will allow 120 hertz support already. So it's not everything yet, but a good portion. It's just that I think they're probably doing the rollout over, slowly, and then they'll make the official announcement. But it's definitely in effect as of now, because I think maybe yesterday, 2 days ago, I've been seeing people tweeting like, yo, the performance is like really insane. So
have they bumped up the resolution? Because wasn't it 720p?
720p with phone. That's a good question. I think Jez has an article. I didn't get a chance to read it through. I just saw his tweet. So I'm very curious, about the resolution, especially on phones. And then I'm also curious because I was a part of the the in-browser beta test. So for that version of xCloud, and that would be curious to see because that's the advantage Stadia had, like the resolution advantage, because you really want that fidelity with it. But the last point I'll say, BRAP, to the whole Kim hiring, this is where I want to get Nick involved, because with all the Kojima rumors we talking about, this may be something going on possibly here. You know what I mean, kind of thing, because the rumor is, shout out to Grub, he's been pushing it as well, is that she might have been specifically brought in to help Kojima with the technical aspects of his game, because from what we do understand,
I was Kojima did.
Oh, sorry, I'm over here.
No, that's fine. No, go. You're good, man. No, go ahead, man. Go.
Yeah, no, just pretty much like the rumor was that before the Microsoft and Kojima rumors, he was in the process of pitching his project, which is some type of cloud integration in his new game. And he was close to getting, from my understanding, getting the bag with Stadia before they kind of got out of the game software, business. So, the rumor is potentially, Kim is brought in to help design, specific technical aspects of the cloud with his game. And the rumors aren't going away so far between Kojima and Xbox. So it will be interesting to see, what pans out and if there's, a deal in place. But it's very interesting. And this is the one that I got my eye on as opposed to the, the blue box stuff to see what's going on here. Because this is very interesting. I'm dying to see what he's going to do.
Yeah. So Nick, would you agree with that then? That you think that this hire is kind of directly tied to whatever's going on behind the scenes with Kojima and Microsoft?
I'm choosing my words carefully, so I don't.
All exclusive
here. No World Star either. No World Star.
Let's go.
Console exclusive.
So it was worth noting that Kojima mentioned that his next project he wanted to make really ambitious, and that he was a long ways away from, being able to release it, wherever the case may be. He's working hard at it, whatever the case may be. You can take that here or there. Kojima has a pretty solid 3-4 year game development cycle. He puts out a game. They're doing the Death Stranding director's cut, which is so weird because, Kojima was the director and we're now getting a director's cut. So don't know what that's about. But regardless, if you look in the correlation between, Kojima and Xbox. Now, fundamentally, people are like, this deal would not work because Kojima's worked with PlayStation. People got to realize that Kojima worked for Konami, who worked with PlayStation. And yes, Kojima has a good relationship with PlayStation, but Kojima has proven time and time again, it's about who nurtures what he wants to create next. And with Death Stranding, PlayStation at that point in time was the perfect place for him to create Death Stranding. And we can see kind of, if you want to talk about building a game for cloud integration, you can kind of look at what he did with Death Stranding and kind of see the potential of what that could mean. And, when we talk about building games for the cloud, the thing is there's nothing physical that we can look at and go, well, this is what it looks like, because you're talking about building something for a server. So it removes the physical requirement of hardware. It means that, your CPU usage can be through the world. We can make expansive worlds we've never seen. And, the potential is endless, but nobody's done it before. So you need people that don't necessarily think in square boxes to help you develop something for that. And, with Kim Swift's pedigree with Portal, Kojima, who's thought outside the box for 20 years. And, people can argue about, whether Kojima's a hack, whether he's amazing, whatever it may be in between. This blue box thing shows that Kojima's pedigree is something everyone is interested in. Whether they end up playing the game or not is up for debate, but he draws that attention. And, Kojima is always about being on the technical cusp. So if I was going to connect the dots, I would say yes, that Kim Swift has been brought in to help creators like Kojima. I'm not saying specifically Kojima, nobody quote me on that, but to help creators like Kojima begin to, build and, understand what it's like to build a game within the cloud, because this is like groundbreaking technical aspects that we're seeing. This is far more than just playing a game on your phone via the cloud. This is a whole lot more than that. And this is the part of cloud gaming that's interesting to me. I don't care about playing some game that I can play on my console, on my cell phone.
You just want to see what kind of monstrosity that Kojima could come up with in regards to cloud and everything, right? This is what
exactly like.
I'm
this
here
could
for
be like the thing is this could go it goes one of two ways in my mind. This is going to be either one of the most technically impressive things we've ever seen, or it's going to be the biggest train wreck that we're ever going to watch.
It's definitely the latter. If I'm
Slow-mo, come on, man. Kojima's a genius, man.
Oh, we got quiet.
Look, I told y'all, like,
what's your saying?
Kojima Unchained is not what you want. Like, you never go full Kojima, never. Okay,
hey man, you put him in the clouds. That's as full Kojima as you can.
He
get,
lives
man.
in the clouds. He been in the clouds.
That's what I'm saying. Slomo, you are giving him full, and Matt, you are taking his creativity tenfold with the power of the cloud. That scares you?
He needs to be grounded. His best games have been with who?
Konami.
Konami. I'm about to say Kojima. Konami. His best games have been with the one publisher that everyone can't stand, that everyone believes was holding him back. But what were they holding him back from? What? Poopa bombs? You know, what were they holding him back from? What were they saying?
The poopa bombs. The poopa bombs did have a purpose, though.
Oh, I don't care what the purpose was. It's doo-doo bombs, okay? Like,
but they were pee bombs too.
Damn.
See, look, like
that man put out a game before we went into a dystopian world.
Yo, that man was onto something, right? Right, E?
Yeah, he was. I'm trying
right? Social distancing.
Kansas is going to turn into New Zealand too, because with the way that world looked. I mean, come on, man. Look. I'm not trying to say the man is a hack or anything. I'm not saying that. He's made very good games. What I'm saying is that sometimes you need like different creative voices in a room in order to make sure that the big creative that's heading it all isn't like running this project off of a cliff. Rein it in a little bit, you know, like how Cognito reins in King David sometimes. You can't, you know, it's every now and then you gotta go. Whoa,
bring him in a little bit. Yeah.
Hey, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. You're getting a little too loose. There needs to be a Kojima, someone to tell Kojima, hey man, you know.
Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you
This idea is very unique. So unique, it should never be seen. That's
to Slow-Mo's point, honestly, and it's one of the things that people don't realize, is that there was a co-writer that worked with Kojima, and I forget the guy's name. I feel terrible, but it's a Japanese name that I cannot store in my brain to pull up at that drop of a hat. But Kojima had a co-writer from Metal Gear Solid all the way till Ground Zeroes that he would bounce ideas off of. And like he even admitted that he'd go, oh, I have this idea for this. And the guy'd be like, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And then for Phantom Pain, he lost that writer. And with Death Stranding, he obviously did his own creative vision. So, you know, Kojima kind of on his own gives us some really out there ideas. And to Slow-Mo's point, I don't disagree that he kind of needs to be balanced out by someone. And maybe that's what they want Kim Swift to do, to kind of, you know, go, you know,
that's
sit
a
there
great
with the
point,
newspaper
Nick.
and smack him in the back of the head. Be like,
her
hey,
pedigree is lit.
stop that.
Like she got Portal, she got Left 4 Dead. Like, you know, she has the pedigree so that, you know, she cannot be ignored. Because you know some people, you know, want to make someone super subordinate to them based on experience or whatever.
Right.
You know, you can't do that to her. You know what I'm saying? She has the cloud chops, which is supposedly some part integration of what he may want to do with his next project. So it's a good point, Nick, that I didn't think about that. Like there could be a reasoning behind that, you know, for whether it be the Microsoft thing happens to bring her in to say, okay, you know, we're going to collaborate on this thing. And she can give some really, you know, timely feedback.
She's created very unique games, like the games that she like. Portal is there was nothing like that before it came out, and even though there had been a ton of Left 4 Dead clones since that game released, there was nothing like Left 4 Dead when it came out.
One of my favorite games.
Yeah, one of my favorites either. I got a group of friends. We still play that from time to time.
Classic.
It's timeless. So like her pedigree is enough where she has to be respected wherever she is, whoever she's working with, and maybe she got enough clout to go tell Kojima, hey, you know,
that part ain't it.
You know, this ain't gonna work. You know, hey, this 5-hour cutscene, can we cut this down to like 5 minutes?
Yeah. And like, you know, everyone always forgets too, the brilliance with Portal is the fact that was a tech demo that they turned into a game. It was supposed to be nothing more than a tech demo, and that got turned into the full-fledged game that, you know, everyone knows and loves that Valve can't count to 3 on. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, you guys got me thinking about because I think it was Nick said that you can kind of see his vision of something cloud, like this open sandbox, right, with Death Stranding, because it was that, and it had a lot of social aspects to the game where you would plant your was like a sign or something, whatever, saying like keep on keeping on, or thumbs up. You would warn people of the what were they, the BD, what were they called?
DBs.
DBs. Thank you, E. The DBs. I almost called them BTs. The DBs and stuff. People would warn you, don't go there.
No, wait, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. It's the BTs. The DBs are from Gears of War.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Oh yeah, the DBs. The BTs.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would tell you that they would, like, people, and so it was very kind of interactive, and as crazy as this sounds, like, you would build roads to help people, and I actually got kind of hooked in that building roads.
Yeah,
right.
Hope actually agrees with you. Like, he loves that game. There's a lot of people that game is really beloved, and that
I like
part
it.
of it. Yeah, they said the overall message they like. You know what I mean? As far as what he's trying to do, so you could see the early signs, like you were saying, BRAP, of possible, network integration, cloud integration, whether from a community standpoint or something like that. But I'm sorry.
Right.
No.
I didn't mean to cut you off either, man. But no, because like I said, like Death Stranding, like Slomo has some good points there. There are definitely parts of Death Stranding where you're like, yeah, that's my boy. He went there. He went to this part, and he could definitely use somebody that could have edited some of that, down. That's always been Kojima, though, because I mean, there's parts of Snake Eater where you could literally put the controller down and just like sit back and watch, But I liked where he was going with that. I liked that it wasn't in pocket. It's like it was kind of out there, where we see so many cookie cutter games.
That is true.
Yeah, it kind of went out there. Now, I want to tie some of what Nick said, down with the whole, the Microsoft thing, the cloud thing. Because I know there's people that are always out there like, yo, Kojima will never work with anybody outside of PlayStation. And like Nick said, no, he worked with PlayStation, and Konami has a good relationship. But I've said for a long time that no, Kojima is like an artist. He is a tech head. He wants to go where, he can do things that are going to like kind of break through and do different things. Where you're going to go and kind of take advantage of some of that. Look at what Microsoft's doing with the cloud stuff. I was talking to King behind the scenes because we were going back and forth talking about Kojima's next move. I initially said to him, I said, I have a feeling his next game may be a multi-plat. And then we started getting that more information that it could be a Microsoft game.
Right.
And I said, that to me makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the dude that's like, put your memory card in this slot and then put your controller down. This and that. Like he kind of goes there. So to be able to think that he can do more like with a cloud scenario, what can he do with that? That could be wild.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Rand in the chat, bro?
Yeah, I got Rand. Big shout out to good friend Randall419 with the $5 super chat. Says, I can't wait for Kojima's Xbox exclusive game to be revealed by Jeff Keighley at the Game Awards later this year. LOL.
There might be some truth to that, man.
There might be some truth.
I'll take Rand's $5 and put that as a wager, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Because I told you, even if it did happen, the rumor was like, oh, he's supposed to. They would announce it at E3, and I always felt like if it is true, again, we're speculating, we don't know. What bigger splash would be the Game Awards? And then Keighley, what I'm saying? That's the part package. You know what I'm saying? You get that announcement, that would be tremendous marketing buzz. There's no doubt.
I can't wait for it either because I just want to see the table turn where everybody that said he was overrated and garbage and this and that, all of a sudden, oh my God, that's a tremendous pickup. I can't wait for that.
Who wants to play a walking sim? Oh, we could. It's great.
I do.
You know how it go. You know how it goes.
We know the vibes. We know the vibe. And you know what? And Nick, what did we say last night on Game Perspective? It's odd. Like the whole blue box thing could at some points literally boil down to the fact that people do not want to see Kojima go anywhere else except for Sony. So they cannot let go of this idea that there's like this.
Yeah, like we talked about, like people like photoshopping Konami's following Kojima again, and people are like, it's like Reset Era has basically turned into a refugee camp of people who think that this specific console has to be better than this console, and anything that points to anything else is just terrible. And it's wild to watch people just grasp at straws over stuff that ultimately doesn't matter. And I don't understand why we can't just celebrate how great gaming's looking. Like 2022 and 2023, even with the stuff we don't know about yet, looks amazing.
Not that a lot, it's like those are the problems I want.
Enrique, are we still live? Never mind. It was maybe something I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I see it too. Slow-mo.
Yeah, I just refreshed and it came back. Yeah,
it's back.
It's back.
Right. Just keep an eye on your YouTube studio.
Yeah, I just did
live streaming because like OBS, one of the OBS updates was kind of tripping and like it's like it will drop data. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing excellent connection at the moment, but I'll keep a watch on it though. Yeah. Thank you, Slobo.
No problem.
But yeah, and actually, and one of the things Kojima, the idea of making a game to cloud, by the way, isn't a new idea. I mean, he talked about this in 2019. Right around the release of Death Stranding, that he wanted to do. He wants to get more experimental in his studio's next game, and part of that was, God, that sounds scary. More experimental in his next game.
Yeah.
But part of that was using cloud. Jesus, that really scares me. I don't know why. I like Death Stranding, but there's parts like Slumwood jokes around doodoo bombs. That was a little weird for me. I'm not gonna lie, and going to the bathroom, Norman Reedus going to the bathroom, and he's taking a shit, and then on the shower door, it's like Norman Reedus, and it makes a motorcycle noise while he's going to the bathroom, and then there's the strategically placed marketing deals with Monster energy drinks. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that scares me.
I'm gonna tell you guys what good old Kojima reminds me of.
What's that?
You ever see the movie Boomerang?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so remember the scene in Boomerang? He knows where I'm going. He knows where I'm going with this.
I think we talked about this before, didn't we?
Yeah. What did you say about Strange? What did you say?
The Strange commercial. That was a nightmare. I think that thing might have given me nightmares.
It's like, hey man, just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Sure about that? He's like, for real? I can do whatever.
Yeah, that's Kojima. That guy is Kojima. Like, and for those who don't understand the context, I think it was Eddie Murphy, right? That like he was so busy with other stuff. This guy who's like literally you couldn't let him do anything on his own because it would be some kind of monstrosity. Was like, hey, we need to do this commercial. Do whatever you want to do.
Gave him full control.
Gave him full control. And then this dude, he had never saw the commercial before they showed it at the meeting. And it was like their big star giving birth to some perfume in like a nightmare universe or something. And it was just like literally everyone was horrified at what they saw, and the dude is just back there doing the little clap they do at modeling events and everything, and he's just smiling like it was beautiful. Everyone's looking at him like, dude, what's wrong with you? That's Kojima. Damn. Like you need someone to say no.
Slow-mo went nasty Nelson on us, man. Remember the first commercial? It had like the bananas and the cherries and all that stuff.
Logo in it. Look, I'm not gonna sit here, Cap. I'm not the biggest fan of his recently. You know what I'm saying? Of his recent projects, but we can't front on the history though. The history is
right.
Oh damn, Forte. Go ahead, Forte.
Forte's been quiet. Forte's been quiet.
You've been quiet. I'm gonna let you
know. No. It's. I mean, listen. It's for some people, and I mean, ever since Metal Gear, it's kind of been a downhill slope. And the man is kind of overrated over the last couple of generations. It's just, I mean, you can only live off of the IP.
Overrated last couple, huh?
Man, I feel like people literally cap more for the name than they do for the games at this point. That's how I feel at this point.
I will say this though, and I hear where you're coming for. I know where you're going. All I'm going to say is we can't front though. He moves the needle.
He does.
No, that's what I'm saying. The name is bigger than the games. The name is bigger than the games.
No. But the thing is, like, Cog is right because
he is Hulk Hogan.
For as many people that cap for him, there's people that want to tear him down. That's when you've hit a certain echelon. When you have an equal number of praise and an equal number of haters.
Well, I think I also think Jeff Keighley has a lot to do with that too, since he has such a big base. I mean, you take somebody that already has an established franchise that people love, and that's what he's known for. Amplify that by the fact that he doesn't put out so many games, only so many, and then amplify that versus having one of the biggest media influencers that literally puts you on spotlight whenever you have something big get ready to come out. So I think that's where the love-hate relationship comes from Kojima, because they feel like, yeah, Kojima makes good games. I mean, no one's going to take that away. The games are quality. They're definitely quality, but it's at a certain point you just feel like, okay, is it the name or is it the games that he's making? Of course, the games are of quality because that's all he really truly made. But most of this comes from, dude, it's Kojima. It's because Kojima's making a game. We don't even know what the heck the game is. Like, we didn't know what Death Stranding was. All we know it was a walking sim that you deliver packages for a while. Now, if you were a person that actually bit the bullet, dived in and played it, a lot of people actually enjoyed the game. But let's be for real here. People was more interested in the fact that it was a Kojima game versus what the game it was.
But I think
that his name is what got people to want to play the game. And that's the same thing about a bunch of, and that's not just a Kojima thing. It's just
I was gonna say that's not exclusive to Kojima.
No, it's
that's
not
the
exclusive
gaming
to
community
Kojima.
in general. People capture
well, I
all
think
kinds
Destiny
of stuff.
I think Destiny has the same thing. It's a Bungie thing. People
I think
play
all
that
big
game
games
just
have
because
that,
of that. But I just think I've never seen it for one person.
Yeah, he's
like,
transcended for one person.
It's a
I gotta
studio.
give it
Studios
usually it's
are
a
completely
studio that
different from
gets
one
that.
person.
For one person to but I do feel the one person part.
Yeah. But let me ask you. Let me ask the panel a question quickly, because Slomo brought up a point, or Forte brought up a point about everyone was so enamored by what his next game was going to be, but I think part of that was because it was his first new franchise since God knows how long, right? Because he's been working on Metal Gear forever. I think that was part of the
yes.
That the hype, if you will, or the excitement.
And one thing I have to add, we have to admit, regardless of how we feel positively or negatively about him, at the end of the day, the way the situation played out with Konami, he became a sympathetic figure.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, to not be able to accept an award, and that's where the Keighley relationship really kicked off, because much as I felt the way I felt about him, I did not like how he was done towards the end.
Yeah.
Right. So to see him get his roses that next following year when he was allegedly omitted, it was a comeback story and respect for his legacy. So I think that then built into, okay, here's the new project. It's going to be a Sony exclusive, and everybody in the community wanted to rally behind him. So I mean, he's got the cachet. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of how I feel, he's got the cachet. It's going to be interesting. But I do agree with Slow-Mo to an extent that you got to rein them in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with that, because the creatives like that and budgets sometimes don't go hand in hand.
Budgets go out the window.
Yeah. And as much as Konami did dirt and that I did not like, there is a part of me that says, hey, if a guy has that much power and you can't rein him in, and maybe they wanted to put some checks and balances in place and they just went a little bit overboard, and then it just became an ugly situation. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, let me grab some super chats here real quick, gentlemen. We have a $5 super chat from Borbor Country. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Says, missing all those great PlayStation games, went from SNES to PS1. There's no reason for me to ever look at Xbox. Honest question, is there anything good on XBix? I don't know what an XBix is. So
I think there is nothing on XBix. That's worse. But Xbox does have some games that are good. That they're not fully exclusive on the Xbox. You can get them on PC as well. Basically, anywhere where Game Pass lives is where those games would be. But you do have a few good titles like that. I mean, we didn't talk about it because no one here, except for Enrique, has played it. But people are enjoying that Sea of Thieves, Pirates of the Caribbean expansion.
Don't get me started.
We.
Wait! You actually played it, or you enjoy it?
No.
You changed your mind?
No, I never changed my mind. I didn't enjoy it.
What's wrong with it? Give us a 24-hour breakdown. What's up? What's wrong with it?
It's not fun. I thought it was boring. I thought it was.
Were you doing it by yourself?
No, I was playing with the crew. I had a crew. It was me, Worry, Wirt, Mooch, Crap, and it was like.
How did they feel about it?
Yeah, probably the same as me. I probably was a little harder on the game because I thought the combat was so clunky. It was like I wanted an hour and 15 minutes of my life back.
You know,
I just didn't think it was fun. Like, and the thing is, like, we're like, we're all like, kind of like laughing and stuff, and then it was kind of like, oh, another puzzle. Oh, we got to jump. Oh, someone fell off, and then like the end. So like we only finished part 1. Maybe it gets better after part 1.
Well,
I think we're gonna play it on Saturday again. But I don't know, man. It's not for me.
I didn't heard from different people. I didn't heard 2 pools of thought when it came to that, because I talked to a couple people that actually played it. You either love it or you hate it. It really comes down to the people you're playing with. If everybody's enjoying it, it kind of filters down and everybody loves it. But if one person kind of doesn't like it, it kind of snowballs into things that other people don't like. Because it's like one of those games. It's like you can make any multiplayer game pretty much fun, but if everybody's not feeling it, it really turns into a pretty bad experience for everybody.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a glorified chat room then. Ever been to a chat room where it's live and it's fun? Ever been to a chat room where it sucks? And that's what that is then. I mean, I just, yeah, I don't want to get into the whole thing because,
it's BRAP, man. We got to get into that stuff. People want to know what you. I haven't played it yet, and it's probably for a reason.
Yeah. Let me finish getting the super chats here. We got K Asante with the $5 super chat. Says salute to the crew. Slow-mo coined the term, and he's 100%. Never go full Kojima. Facts.
Big facts.
He coined that while he was drunk one day too, just to let y'all know.
I was not drunk.
He was not drunk.
We got. How you know? Were you living next? Were you in the room with him when he coined it?
No, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't drunk.
We were all here when I coined it, and I was not drunk.
There's nothing wrong with being drunk. There's nothing wrong with drinking. Drinking is a good
thing.
That.
I just said I wasn't.
All right, we got a good friend, JD Gamer, at the $5 super chat. Says people cap and Xbox. Xbox is on everyone's mind in a good way. Hard question: the panel, should Fairweather fans be welcomed back with open arms?
I don't get. Yeah, exactly. What are you going to do? Stop them from playing Xbox?
And be like, put that shit down.
You left in 2013. You can't come back. You can't come back.
The question
what's going on here, man?
The real answer to that question is, why do they bother you? Like, okay, there's Fairweather fans out there. I just don't listen to the opinions of those people because
what the fuck is a Fairweather fan? I mean, what is?
What he means. Wish-washy, back and forth.
Look, man. If somebody wants a game, just let him game.
Are these people put on a list? These are all
are they on the VIP
Xbox fans, right? Every time they play a multiplayer game, and other
come on, y'all.
people
Let's not be stupid here. We all know who these people are talking about.
Here. How dare you play this now? You can't play Xbox anymore. No.
We know.
I want to ask the voice.
Hey, slow-mo. Like, yo. Get down here right now. He's here right now. You go get down here. He's here. He's trying to buy one right now, man. He's trying to buy one.
Him downstairs.
Come on, man.
Him downstairs.
Shout out to JD, man.
Yeah,
JD put that out there like it was like we got to get serious for a minute.
Yeah, he's a hard question. JD, thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it, man.
Shout out, JD.
This was funny, man. It was a funny question.
It was a good question.
Yeah. So, and now I lost my train of thought. So, I really do lose my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So, let's move on to another topic here regarding an acquisition by our favorite company, EA. Yeah, EA, great. Electronic Arts has purchased Playdemic from Warner Media for, this is a big purchase, $1.4 billion with a B, an all-cash deal. All cash. They got money.
They pull up with the bag.
And that's that microtransactions taking care of that.
Yeah. What do you think about this deal, B?
It's EA doing what EA's been doing over the last year or two, man. They're working on something big. They bought Codemasters. They took that from Take-Two because they were trying to get those guys, and they got a whole slew of racing developers now. So they've been buying a bunch of mobile developers, and this is another one. So they're really going to lean into the mobile gaming. Continue to cash in on those microtransactions, and try to really get a foothold back into the racing genre. I think Once Upon a Time, Need for Speed was one of those big games that people loved and adored, and kind of fallen to the wayside. And I think they really want to, kind of get that footprint back. So, they're trying to turn around a little bit, but just happening a little slower than what people expected.
Yeah, and this is interesting. So I guess it almost seems like then with WB that it sounds like they're just selling off certain studios. I mean, I guess what happens to the rest of the studios though? Like then or WB, I mean, they still going to be part of Warner or whatever the deal is with AT&T, that this merger with Discovery. I mean, is that?
Yeah, that's why when like people were running around saying like, "Oh, Microsoft bought these studios," it's like, no, they can't. They can't. Mm-hmm. Those studios are attached to a publicly traded company. So if they were going to be sold or any transaction was going to happen, they would have to announce that. Like shareholders would have to know about that. It would become public knowledge. You know what I mean? So that's why I just kind of push it to the side. But it looks like they sold off a couple smaller studios, or that's what their plans are. And then the other studios are just going to be split between AT&T and Discovery. And It looks like they're just going to work on WB products going forward and not really do any licensed stuff. So
interesting. Wow.
What do they really? I'm trying to figure out what do they have that's just WWB at this point.
I mean, they have all of the DC stuff.
And,
they have
DC stuff. Yeah.
I think they're going to fully, go hard on trying to get, have bigger games and live service space. I think that's why, they're making a Suicide Squad game. And they have the Batman game coming. Hogwarts, so they still have the Harry Potter game coming. So I mean, a lot of their stuff I think is going to be kind of tied into what they're doing on the movie front and television space, and kind of have that stuff coincide with what's going on that side. I think once they start the DC universe or whatever the DC show that they've been doing recently,
DCEU.
Yeah, DCEU. Yeah, since they've had that, I think they've really, tried to look at what Marvel's done with their property. You know what I mean, and kind of blown it up, to one of the biggest things in the world. I think DC, they really want to do that too. They feel like they have that same cachet, and they're really trying to, be 10 toes down with that. So we'll see if, they can actually have that same level of interest. You know what I mean, with all their stuff they have going on, but like Marvel has done. But a couple years, I guess we'll see.
It's just been crazy to me when you think about the difference between when it comes to Marvel and DC.
Yeah,
you would think because you would think the Marvel games would do way better. I mean, of course, Spider-Man has been the outbreak. That's been a breakaway success. But when it comes to like video games, DC has a bunch of movies, Marvel has a bunch of movies, but DC pretty much has the better video games, or just Warner and better. Warner has always had the better rendition of video games when it comes to superheroes. I mean, you think about just all the Batman games, you think about the movies when it comes to the Lord of the Rings games and stuff like that. It's always been real fascinating to see the fact that DC has always been able to give you a product when it comes to video games, but they really fall short in some instances on the movie side of it, where Marvel just knocked that completely out of the park. And it's real interesting to see exactly how they're going to build that, because you would think movies is what brings everybody into the ecosystem, and then the video games kind of just make it a little bit bigger than it actually, not bigger than it actually is, but just a bigger audience, because we know at this time video games have outtake movies when it comes to sales and stuff when it comes to box office versus physical sales or digital sales of video game sales. So I always wonder what's going to happen when DC finally hits their stride on both sides. I think the golden age of DC was during the Batman era when they had all the Dark Knight movies and stuff, and they had the Batman games around that same time. That was kind of the best time that DC ever had. But then for some reason they just couldn't follow up with anything else outside of that one IP, and Marvel was just building up momentum. So it's real interesting to see how this actually is going to happen. I do agree with you though, E. They're probably just going to focus more and more on those critical IPs, like you said, the Harry Potters and stuff like that, build that stuff up. And then by the time we look up, they have, staying power for those things. And if they ever decide to bring movies and stuff back in those genres, especially like the Hogwarts series and stuff like that, I think that would actually bring people back into the fold too.
Yeah, that's an interesting point for Tay about the games, because you made me think about the Guardians of the Galaxy game they showed at E3.
Yeah,
that game looked terrible.
It looked. I was saying, but you don't say that. I mean, Greg,
you don't say about DC games per se.
Yeah, there has been some bad DC games. We cannot disregard and say there has not been some bad DC games, but most people will tell you when it comes to Marvel games, pretty much Spider-Man is Spider-Man is at the top of that list, and maybe some of the like Ultimate Marvel Alliance and stuff, and maybe the Marvel Alliance that was on the Switch, but maybe Iron Man VR that was on this PSVR. But outside of that, it's kind of just been like, okay, what is Marvel doing on the video game side that's pushing in there? I think Captain America on 360 was an amazing game. But it took after the Batman model, because Batman was the one that built the combat system, and then a lot of games kind of followed in that. So I always felt like DC pioneered the way that we play these hero action games, and then Spider-Man is like the latest thing that kind of took that to another level. Whereas they added a fourth dimension where it was combat in the air, where no game really did that outside of Batman, and Batman didn't even do as good as Spider-Man did.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Let me get the super chat here from Borbor Country. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. $2 super chat says FIFA or FIFA, as Lord Cognito refers to it as. FIFA is a cash cow. Funds all other games. I think. Yeah, other games.
FIFA and Madden.
Yeah,
literally.
They're the cash cows.
Yeah, host up all those other EA games.
Yo, FIFA prints money.
You see what they said? They said that Ultimate Team by itself for Madden and for FIFA contribute last year alone $1.62 billion.
What?
Last year by itself.
Are you serious?
Last year by itself, those two games, the purchase that they did for this studio was covered in 1 year by profit from Ultimate Team, from Madden and FIFA.
Talking about profit.
1 year.
Yeah.
That's nuts. By the way, quick program announcement. One Bad Mother is no longer allowed on Basement Radio Arcade podcast.
What do you do?
As he said, Mass Effect 3 is the best of the Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh, I mean, so Ram
did he end it yet?
He finished the trilogy.
Listen, man, that is starting to become. I'm not even mad at people. That's starting to become a trend.
I've seen some people actually switch from 2 to 3, but
you know what, Forte? We predicted it on that.
We did
because
on the podcast.
What we said is it's going to be a new generation of players that's going to play all three, right?
Yep.
And if you play Mass Effect 3, it is phenomenal. Like I felt that back when we played it, and then remember they are now privy to a better version of the extended cut ending. So we said I wouldn't be surprised we doing a Mass Effect 1 versus 2 debate. But 3
might end up being the best one of all.
The new generation will be the one. Yeah. I spoke to Attic. He's like, "Yo, 3 is fire, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I had a feeling.
And then Ran recently when we were on Xbox 2, he had just beat all 3 of them. He was like, I hate to say it. He said, I think 3's better than 2. And I was like, at this point, I'm not. You know who I want to ask this? Because Slow-Mo, that's a good question. And we're not going to go down the rabbit hole. But Slow-Mo, you beat these games multiple times, even before the new Legendary Edition came out. How do you feel about the 2 versus 3 argument?
I was in the bushes during a critical time.
Oh, yeah. Critical junction.
Slow-Mo.
We'll come back.
Slow-Mo's drinking right now.
He's speechless.
He's speechless. All right, we'll come back and ask Slow-Mo that critical question when he finally cuts his mic back on.
Hey, real quick, this isn't a official topic tonight, but Sonic the Hedgehog turned 30 years old.
Yeah.
Dang, that's an old hedgehog.
Yeah.
Sonic's goddamn 3 years older than I am.
Yeah, he is. He is.
That just makes us the rest of us older.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. Thank you, Nick.
Blue Devil.
I was 14 when Sonic came out.
I saw somebody on Twitter say the Blue Bomber turns 30. I said, sir, that's the wrong hero. That's the wrong hero.
Yeah.
The Blue Bomber is definitely somebody else.
Can we give him credit for the enthusiasm?
Oh yeah, they was excited. I was like,
okay, we'll give
you an A for
effort. Yeah. We won't mark you absent.
Yeah. So Nick, you, even though you were not born when Sonic first came out, have you played some of the old Sonic games?
Oh yeah, no, I grew up broke as hell with the Sega Genesis, while everyone else had higher end systems. So I played a ton of Sega games because they're hand me downs, and I love Sonic. Now, last 20 years hasn't been the most solid in the world, but my house is a Sonic household. Like my kids love Sonic. Like Sonic is like their favorite thing. Like my daughter will run down the hallway in our apartment going Sega, like the whole yard. She loves. They love Sonic. Like the moment that Minecraft bundle came out, like that got announced yesterday, my kids were talking about it before IGN posted an article about it.
That looks like, fire, by the way.
Can we have this? Can we have this? I'm like, oh my god. Sonic's invading everything, but it's cool. It's a classic character,
Oh yeah,
I like him better than Mario because at least they try to do different things with Sonic games, unlike Mario games.
But, but you can't be throwing Slade at Mario like that. I mean, Mario's a pastime.
I mean, there was a time where we were, and I went from Nintendo to Sega and was like, yeah, we got Sonic F Mario. I was in that camp for a little bit. It was real. I don't know.
I do want to cross-examine, Mr. Nicholas Downey. You said that it was a. You said it was a. You basically lessened the fact that you said if you were playing on Genesis, it was the lesser experience. Like,
No.
Like you said it was the poor boy experience. Are you saying that playing on the Genesis was the poor boy experience?
Nah, you ain't say that.
No.
I just want to make sure.
He's talking popularity.
I'm not even talking popularity. I'm talking about the fact
funds.
When my friend,
he was talking about funds. I want to know what he's talking about.
No. What I was talking about was the fact when all my friends had Dreamcasts and Xboxes and PlayStation 2s.
Oh, okay. So
I had a
generation back.
Yeah.
My console development. My father played PC, so we always had like an up-to-date PC. But if I wanted console games, I got whatever my cousins handed down to us. So when they upgraded to the Dreamcast, I got the Genesis.
Oh, okay. That's why I asked the question. This wasn't to make sure.
That's like Nick. That's like getting the textbook with all the answers in it.
No. See, the best part was the best part of that deal was the fact that eventually I got that Dreamcast handed down to me. That is still the best video game console
I agree.
Ever played.
My favorite video game
console. That deserves a woo, Cog. Let's go.
Woo!
I agree, 100%. Best video game console ever made, right there.
That's vintage. That's premium Sega at that like peak. You know what I'm saying? That was definitely man.
Controllers. The controllers were fired. The UVMs were fired. The games were fired.
Everything about the ad campaign to the launch lineup, that console was doing.
Sega Net.
It was like a whole. It was like a peak moment in gaming.
Yeah, it was.
And then it just died too early.
Yeah,
it was over too soon.
It was over too soon.
It's a good looking system too.
Oh yeah, it was sexy. To the Sonic point though, yeah, Brad, like it was transformative. I mean, I remember. I know we talking, the buzz terms and companies and blast processing.
Yeah.
But it was so fast for that time. Like how that game moved. Like it was really transformative, and that was the thing because it was like, for the Mario camp, Mario's a classic. We ain't gonna disrespect Mario, but I remember playing Sonic, and we were like, "Yo, we've never seen anything like that," because the game just moved at light speed, and you were like, "Okay, this is a difference." It's probably more of a difference now. You look back at it from just a hardware infrastructure part, but it was cool, man. Now obviously all the games didn't age well, but as far as the series continued, but they was hot for that moment. They had their mascot. They was flexing. Somebody, I think it was Tony. Shout out to Tony Polanco. He had put up like a someone had the old Genesis marketing versus Super Nintendo, and it had like all the Sega cartridges at Sonic at the top, blast processors. We got all the games. they literally cherry picked though. They had like Super Nintendo. They had like 3 games. It was probably like with Super Nintendo or whatever first launch, and they would like, we've got the superior lineup, all the best blast processing Genesis does. And I'm like, damn, Sega was in their bag with aggressive, disrespectful marketing.
Sega does when Nintendo don't.
And you think about it,
that's bars when you really think back.
It was definitely. If you know what's crazy about it, like if you think about it, they were like the first to really put the competition in their comparison video in the commercial. Like I've never seen, like I want to know licensing wise, like how were they even able to do it, right? Because you had a picture of a Nintendo or a picture of a Super Nintendo side by side with a Genesis and marketing that says Nintendo. I wonder if like Nintendo's legal team was like, yo, we should probably get at them for this. Like, I'm curious like how they were able to pull all of that off, in these marketing pitches versus the competition. It's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, it was like some game type stuff, man. like it was like literally like corporate face mushing.
Bro, that was console warring.
Yeah, for real.
Like that on a corporate level. Like they was going at it. I was like, damn, this is intense back there as a kid.
But Kyle, you kind of think about it though. Like a lot of people came with that disrespect from Nintendo because even PlayStation was like in front of. They had what Crash in front of the
disrespectful of the
those were the good days. Those commercials, man. You just get those feels.
Yeah, man. It was a good time.
With the megaphone
outside the Nintendo headquarters for real. Like, Sony was aggressive. Like, I was like, damn. It was like, y'all ain't want to do that CD system with us, huh? We out here now. Now we pulling up in front of your block with the megaphone.
So the question I have is staying on Sega. Who's seen the new Alien Fireteam trailer today that released? The pre-order trailer.
I did.
What do we actually think? I'm a huge Alien fan, and I Colonial Marines, it burned me so hard, and I want this game to be great. I want this to be a good co-op game. Nick, what did you think, man? Or what are you expecting?
I am a sucker for co-op games, so I may not be the person to ask.
Well, it's the same thing, but I'm just from what you saw. What do you think?
Look, I'm along with you with the fact that like Alien Isolation is the anomaly in terms of good Alien games that we've gotten. So I'm hesitant, but at the same time, I'm like, let's go. Let's go. It looks good from what we've seen, but I still have that fear because Colonial Marines look good at one point. So I don't know.
And then they changed the way that it looked. it took the massive downgrade. Yeah, I am a huge that's my favorite movie franchise. I've always been a fan of those movies. Aliens 2 is still the best one of all of them because it's the pure adrenaline that drove off 5 of the movies at a certain point. But yeah, seeing that trailer today, I was looking at it and I was like, this looks so good. I could just see the Left 4 Dead vibes all left through it with the different alien types. It looks phenomenal. My question is it going to play like it looks?
Well, there is actual gameplay. I think IGN played it, the alpha or a vertical slice of it. I think it may have been like 8 or 16 minutes or something like that a little while ago. So it does look similar to what they're showing. I don't really feel Left 4 Dead vibes from it.
Well, I'm just saying the type, not in general. I'm just saying just that 4-player co-op.
Oh, it's actually 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the link.
Yeah, put the link so I can go. Because haven't really been looking until I saw the trailer today.
There it is. So yeah, it's got full gameplay there. It kind of reminded me a little bit of The Division, just a little bit, but not like too much because it's not like the cover mechanics weren't as tight as Divisions are. But I'm interested in it. Like I tagged you and Luca and the Spectres earlier today about we gotta play this when it comes out. So
it comes out soon, August.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's right in the corner then. Yeah.
Slow, real quick, because they I know Brad, I know you've been playing it, so I just had to get Slow's feedback on.
On
the 2 versus 3, because One Bad Mother was in here and BRAP basically banned him from coming back to the podcast. He said that Mass Effect 3 is better than Mass Effect 2. So then me and Forte said
he can't come back. He's done.
But me and Forte did say that. Remember when we did, and you were part of it, when we did the Mass Effect debate show. Yeah, the newer generation of people who haven't played the trilogy that play it now might end up saying that. So like, do you?
Yeah, because they didn't deal with all of the lies that we dealt with. Like we were told, that your ending would be unique to you, and that wasn't the case. We were told things that did not turn out to be what will actually happen. And so like those who are new to the series don't have to deal with any of that. They didn't have those experiences that kind of formed their opinion of their expectations of what Mass Effect 3 was going to be. Now, I've always said that Mass Effect 3 is out of the trilogy because I think Andromeda has the best combat, but out of that trilogy, it has the best combat of the trilogy. It has some really great epic moments, some big, like, nice set pieces, but the ending falls flat, and there aren't many games that can match the suicide mission ending of Mass Effect 2. So it's still Mass Effect 2 over 3 for me. But I do understand how people
would feel that way.
Yeah, they would feel that way. They just run through the series and then they everything is connected together. Like many people are playing Mass Effect 1 and going straight into 2.
Right. Remember, we had those big gaps between, and the last point is they were not privy to the extended ending. I mean, they are now privy to it when we were not. And we had a very abrupt, rough cut ending that left the most sour taste. So now they're getting a little bit of extra sauce and context on their ending.
They actually did that extended ending maybe like 3 months after the game had launched. But as you said, like a lot of people had finished the game and were justifiably upset with what they got. What they did with that ending was starting all the way back where Shepard and the crew infiltrate the Cerebus base and the Elusive Man's base of operations. It started there. So they didn't that's like 2 full missions of additional dialogue, reworking what some of the events that happened, explaining things a little bit better, a little bit more more closure with your crewmates. More context to everything. And what we got originally, none of that was really there. And it was, I mean, I don't want to, because like now there are people, I don't want to talk about what the ending actually
because Nick's got to play it. Yeah, Nick's got to play it.
But I fully understand people getting it, because I even think Addict said that he thought Mass Effect 3 was the best.
Yeah, he was low. He was like, "Cog, yo."
And so those who just played through it and had never experienced it before, I fully get them thinking. I understand that they feel like Mass Effect 3 is the best, but it's just it's not.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, let me get these this last super chat here before we wrap up the show, gentlemen. I want to get the super chat from JD Gamer with another $5 super chat. Thank you, JD. Said Sonic should be split into 2 distinct types of games: the Generations 2D type and Adventures 3D type, and then we can all be happy.
What do we think was the okay? So what was the best 2D Sonic and what was the best 3D one? What do you guys think?
Good question. I think the first Sonic 2D was the best of the 2D ones.
Tough. I got a soft spot for part 1 and 2 for the 2D side.
Yeah,
I got a soft spot.
Yeah, probably the first one.
I think the 3D one is harder.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I really love. Ooh,
I would say the soft spot for Sonic 1. Sonic 2 was dope though.
Yeah,
and
it was.
And Sonic CD was actually good.
Sonic CD was good. Yeah.
But then you go into, I mean, when you get over to Sonic Adventure, that was just, again, go back to that Dreamcast, man. It was just, you see that and the whales jumping up behind you and the whole
thing.
Like, what? Let's go.
That was fire.
Yep. But no, that's a damn good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good way to put it, man.
Oh, you really got to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to make that a Twitter question.
Yeah, it should be a Twitter question.
You should put a poll.
Yeah, probably gonna do that today.
Yeah, that's it. And then we got the Great Sin Vendetta with the $5 super chat. Says, I don't care what anyone says. Mass Effect 1 is the best Mass Effect. You could no, we're not doing that. No.
And you know I like you, brother.
Nah,
you out of pocket.
Thank you.
That gaming takes. We got some bad ones tonight.
Salute them, man. Listen, I will say playing 1 again, it was really refreshing, the world building. It was really cool. I love the character. I will say Matriarch and Saren are awesome characters. There's no doubt.
True.
And then
Spider Sarah.
Yeah, Spider Sarah. You know, even the lead up, everything. But as soon as I got in that Mako, it reminded me of why
everything that was wrong.
And not stand this. And I was like,
it all came back.
That Mako was terrible.
Back. Oh my god, it's so awful. I got so many clips of receipts of bad jokes of what has happened to me in that Mako. Replaying this. I literally would have y'all laughing for days. All the crazy things that happened with me in the Mako in that.
Did you get stuck on a rock?
Oh,
the rock is like it's in the middle of under the Mako, and your wheels can't touch down the game track.
The developers were evil, slow. Like they put like you got to get these really points of interest in these. Like you're going through Mount Everest with this Mako, and I'm like, this thing is
sliding all over the place.
Yeah, it was trash.
How you want me to get around this mountain? No, go over it. It's not doing it,
bro. I was so happy to shoot probes at a planet in Mass Effect 2 when that thing was over.
The probes were great.
Right. They said we're gonna take what you hated the most and simplify it.
Yes. and the last thing, did y'all have crashes on your Mass Effect? I kept having crashes like crazy during this.
I haven't got it yet.
On PC, I had one crash in the very beginning. On Eden Prime. That's the only crash I had on PC. On PlayStation, I'm not done. I'm still playing through the Legendary Edition on both PC and PlayStation 5, and I'm on Mass Effect 2 for both. The crash on PC was the only time that I had any issues. Otherwise, it's been a pretty spotless experience, which is rare for BioWare lately.
Last question for you. Thermal clips or overheating? Which you prefer?
Good one. You know what? I didn't mind the overheating.
I didn't mind the overheating either.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Mass Effect 1. I didn't mind it.
Because you could put mods on to limit the overheating,
the dampening, and all that stuff. Yeah.
With the mods, you could shoot down enemies before it got even close to overheating.
And I actually agree with that. That was the one thing I will give Mass Effect credit for. The thermal clip thing, I was like, man, I always had to reload at the most unopportune time in Mass Effect 2.
And then I'm looking for them clips on the floor. I'm like, where they at? I'm out.
People don't really look at it when you gotta use
something that's not that good for that moment. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, no, that's well, look, gentlemen, it is 11 o'clock, and first of all, I want to thank everyone in the live chat for coming by and hanging out with us. Really appreciate the support as always. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. But also want to give a big shout out to our special guests this evening. Nick, want to say thank you again for joining us tonight on BRAP, man. I know we kept you a little bit over, man. Certainly appreciate you coming on again. And please let everyone know where they can find you.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at Nicholas_Downey now, because I just changed that.
Nice.
5 minutes ago.
Nice.
So you can find me there. You can find me writing guides, reviews, and soon hardware stuff over at lordsofgaming.net. And you can find some little bit of dabble of independent stuff at The Gaming Perspective at Medium. And of course, The Gaming Perspective podcast every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me. Always a blast to talk with you guys. And Mass Effect 1's great. The Mako is fine. If you can drive a Warthog, you can drive a Mako.
Oh, God, don't you stop.
Oh, man.
The Warhawk.
I saw your slander.
That is hilarious.
The Warhawk can actually go up a hill where the Mako can't.
Thank you, Forte.
I went through that entire game not understanding what was wrong with the Mako because I never got stuck once.
You know you're playing with the refined controls
either.
too. You're not even playing with the original controls.
Yeah, and plus the shooting is way better, and not just regular combat, but in the Mako as well. The shooting is worlds better than it was in the original game.
Yeah.
You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with the Mako before.
No, you couldn't. Yeah. We also have Lord Cognito Cog. It was always a pleasure, man, having you on. Thanks for joining us, man. Really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone knows where to find you, but let everyone know where they can find you.
Before I let people know where to find us, salute to y'all, man. I always love when I have time to do rap, man. It's just like, to me, it's not even, but it's like talking to the homies, B-Money's the fam. You already know, you know what I'm saying? Eric Jackson. DPS podcast is always in effect here. Salute to my bros, you know what I'm saying? And BRAP, I always love what you're doing. And it's good to podcast with Nick, man. Like, you know, it's always good to get his perspective on stuff. Super knowledgeable. Love what he's doing. Always an honor whenever he, writes for LogNet. So I got to salute the home team on that. But yeah, man, you already know Lord Cognito on Twitter. iLaw Podcast on Sunday. Please tune in this Sunday, though. This was, I won't jinx it too much, but we will have a special guest. And
Phil Spencer confirmed.
No, it's not Phil Spencer. But we definitely, it's a profile guest. And it's a profile, I should say a profile studio. That's what I'll say. Profile studio. And I'm excited.
Neil Druckmann confirmed.
Shannon Loftus.
Shannon Loftus.
We actually gonna hear what World Edge is working on.
Oh man, but it's gonna be. Nick already knows what it is, but tune in. It should be fun. We'll have some good questions and stuff. And appreciate the support. And if you guys really the retweets and support for LogNet is truly humbling. That allows us to do big things. So if you get over to lordsofgaming.net, when you guys retweet the articles, you share them, because we got some great writers. And like I said, I'm very, very fortunate to have Nick and a lot of people who contribute to us. It means a lot. And it's by the gamers. So salute.
No, it's great. And for everyone out there listening, if you're tired of biased media, check it. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, it's great stuff, man. You guys are doing great work.
Love. There, salute, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I throw that biased media thing in as a joke, but
I know.
Although my perspective has evolved, but we won't talk about it. Has evolved. Yeah, we won't talk about that though. But so we also got the two members of DPS podcast as well, Slow-Mo Backslap and Gaming Forte. Slow-Mo, let everyone know we can find you, man.
You can find me on my channel, Slow-Mo Backslap. Just dropped a video today about how great Splitgate arena warfare is. The premier gunplay.
The Destiny killer.
Put it on it now. Let's get it out here now. Let's throw it on it.
I'm not going to say it's a Destiny killer.
Let's just do it.
Than Destiny, but still, it's not a Destiny killer. It's just a really good shooter. If you like shooters, try it out. Watch my video. You can see my gameplay of me mopping fools. Me out here. I went to the laundromat on them, washed them, everything. It looks great. Also did a video yesterday about why I believe Halo Infinite should be released before Call of Duty. Check that out too. And watch us tomorrow, me and Game and Forte, on the DPS podcast. That's Damage Per Second podcast, if you weren't aware. And that will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel. So everyone have a great night and take care of yourselves.
No doubt.
Awesome. Thank you. And Forte, let everyone know they can find you, man.
Yeah, man. Great show. Always great to be in here with the Lords. We got, my man. Shout out to Cognito, busiest man I've ever known. Always when he's up this late, I know he putting in extra work. But outside of that, Nicholas, always good to be here with you and the rest of the BRAP family. Really, truly appreciate you guys. It's Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, and Xbox Live. Check us out on DPS, like he said, tomorrow. Also, if you didn't hear our reactions and everything to everything that was going on there at E3 week, check out last week's episode. We had an amazing time with Jeff Grubb and with Randall Thor 19. It was it was one of the best shows that we had, and really truly appreciate everybody that did come through. So make sure you guys show up tomorrow and show that same type of love that you showed in that one. And please go to Twitter and just keep tweeting hashtag Dead Space so we could get this thing back, because EA about to reboot a franchise that we don't know about, and let's all pray that it's Dead Space, because I feel like Dead Space definitely needs to come back. But
I know you're getting a mobile game, right?
Yeah.
If it's if it's a mobile game, never mind.
It's gonna be Army of Two mobile.
Oh, you know what? Is it Army of Two? Wait, hold on. Doesn't EA own Army of Two? Now that I think about it. Could it actually be Army of Two? Could it actually be Army of Two that they're rebooting? Oh my god!
I don't think it is, but
it's EA.
It's EA. You're right. But yeah, guys, it's EA. Yeah, but guys, have a great week. Make sure you follow all of the amazing content creators on this channel, wherever they're at, on Twitter and everything. And we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. And Eric Jackson, the voice of reason. Man, always a pleasure, man. Let everyone know they can find you, man.
Yeah. Man, what a fun podcast tonight, man. Esteemed guest. Always love chopping it up with Cog. My boy bro. Nick. It's all love. Appreciate you guys. Slow Mo, Forte, my brothers. Appreciate you. I know DPS is going to be lit tomorrow because it's going to be a continuation of the first part of the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's always the first 20 minutes. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So, my boy B Money, Enrique. Love all you guys. Panel, you guys were on point tonight. Thank you for all being here. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. And Gaming Perspective on Tuesday nights with my boy Nick, 8 o'clock.
Chill.
Sweet. Oh, and my boy Sam Topper.
Chill.
Yeah. Awesome, man. And last but not least, the man who's usually right with predictions. Actually, he's probably pretty right all the time. If he says something, listen, because it's probably going to happen. B Money 101. B, man, always a pleasure.
Yes, sir, man. It's a great show tonight. I appreciate Cog and Nick coming through, man. I enjoy all the content that those guys do.
Much love.
Yeah, for sure. And the panel, my brothers, the BRAP panel, man. Love you guys. Putting in that work every week, and we've continued to grow over this last year. So let's just keep moving forward and see where it takes us.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah. You can find me everywhere, same name, B Money 101. 2K has kind of been dead for me lately, so I've been playing a lot of other stuff. But
that's why you've been ducking me, B. I got it.
Oh,
whatever.
Here we go. Don't poke the bear.
I'll for you. But yeah, same name, B Money 101.
All right, B. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And again, everyone in the live chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Please check out DPS Podcast tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the Iron Lords this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time as well. And we'll catch you all next Wednesday, although maybe a BRAP rant maybe this weekend. I'll tweet that out if I do one. Just depends how busy I am this weekend. But if not, we'll see you next Wednesday, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, to the panel, to our guests, thank you so much. Everyone, have a great rest of the evening. We're out. Peace.
Enjoy that Mario Golf on Friday. Let's go.
Or don't.
Mario Golf.